Hey guys, I have a new game that I wanted to show you guys. I've been working hard this week getting this one prepared. I was hoping I would have it ready in time for Valentine's Day. But this one is called Share Your Heart with Those You Love. And it is all about communicating love and affection to both friends and family. So here's the little game board, and it addresses quite a few different subjects. So these are healing a broken heart. So these cards go a little bit deep as far as avoiding social situations for because of fear of rejection, or because they feel like maybe they've been hurt before and they're afraid of getting hurt again. So they're just totally avoiding social situations. So it talks a little bit about forgiveness. It talks about being able to communicate, like, hey, you hurt my feelings about this. Another one is does this other person have to apologize before I can forgive? So it kind of walks through some different things, and you might get stuck for a while on these. So I really recommend that if a kid really identifies with one of these questions, it's not important to finish the game. It's more important to discuss what's going on. Um, so anyway, these are kind of specific, and they might apply to some of the kids and they might not apply at all. Some kids are little social butterflies, and they stuff just rolls off their back real easy, and so that might not apply to kids at all. um, these cards are love in action, and these focus on, it's one thing to say you love somebody, but it's another thing to show you love somebody. So this talks about different ways that you can show love and affection to your friends and family. And there's a reference in here to the love languages. If you're not familiar, Gary Chapman wrote a really good book. It's kind of aimed at marriage, but it applies to all relationships. But everybody has a different love language. And I mean, a lot of people receive and give love in a lot of different ways. But the basic ones, there's acts of service, there's physical touch, gift giving, quality time together, and what was the other one? Physical affection, words of encouragement. So, all of those are really important to different people. Like some people just crave to hear those words of encouragement, whereas other people just have to have that touch to feel loved. And so, it's important for people to know, like, let's say that they have a friend who is really touchy feely, and this kid's like, I don't really like to be touched. If they recognize that that's a love language, they might be willing to give hugs and kind of be a little bit more patient with the touching if they know that that's important to their friend. Whereas they might realize that, hey, I really want to receive gifts, but not everybody's a gift giver. And and if it is important to them, that maybe they need to communicate that to their loved ones, that, gifts are important to me. And that's one way that I speak my love language. So it kind of touches on that. The language of love might kind of reflect these a little bit too. So this one talks a lot about assertive communication, nonverbal communication, and in being able to communicate. Like, if I love you, how can I tell you, and how many different ways can I tell you that I love you? And it's important to note too that sometimes kids are going to like whenever they're talking to their mom or a family member, they might be able to communicate it a little bit more tenderly and intimately. And then also thinking of ways of communicating affection to friends that might not be so intimate. Um, Working with elementary kids, oh my goodness, just there's so much modeling with boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, and learning appropriate boundaries for the age is important too. So I do try to model ways that they can communicate love and affection, but doing it appropriately. So that's what that one's about. And finally, this one's really focused on friendships. The cute little teddy bear, it's connected friendships. And so it just talks about, how do you nurture friendships? What are qualities in a friendship that make them valuable? And recognizing, like, a lot of times kids are able to see a characteristic in somebody else and they're drawn to that, but they don't know how to replicate it or how to communicate the value of it. So it's just some of these questions are designed to really bring awareness to that, as far as what is it about that person that is so meaningful to me, and why am I drawn to this friend, and what is it that they do that really affirms me. and being able to reflect that to their friend and say, these are the reasons why you're valuable to me. It's so meaningful. Um, but there's also questions throughout the game as far as what does it mean for to you whenever somebody really recognizes how you feel and they get it. What is that like for you whenever somebody truly understands what's going on in your world or what really matters to you? And we want to build those skills so that these kids can be that for somebody else as well. So this game is all about connection, communication, all sorts of different relationships. So it's definitely a Valentine's Day theme, but it's a great game to play anytime. And I intend to play this next week in my groups with kids. So you could do it individual counseling, group counseling, but I would definitely use this with families too, because so many of our families don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to show affection in a way that other members of the family can receive it. So this is a versatile game that can be used in a lot of different ways. I hope you enjoy it.